Hello, friends. Gather close, let me tell you a story. This story is one filled with mystery, greed, secrets, and a lesson that shook an entire kingdom. This is the story of our friend the tortoise and the king's wife who was not what she seemed. Let us travel to the ancient kingdom of Udeme together. One cool evening, the tortoise wandered deep into the king's sacred forest looking for food. Suddenly, his eyes landed on something strange. Hanging on a low tree branch was a beautiful golden deer skin, glowing softly in the sunlight. Tortoise gasped, "Ah, what kind of treasure is this?" Before he could touch it, he heard a soft but firm commanding voice behind him. "Give that back, it belongs to me." He turned and saw the king's youngest wife, Queen Nkem. Her eyes were bright and there was something very strange about the way she appeared. He kept a safe distance just to be sure nothing was chasing her. "My queen," he said, "is this for sale? Where did you buy it? Which hunter sold it to you? I would like to have something like this as a gift for my fiancé." "Maybe you should meet with the village hunters to get you something like this. But this one is mine and not for sale," she replied curtly as she yanked the deer skin away from his hands and started going her way. After a few steps, she turned back to the tortoise and said, "You mustn't speak to anyone about what you have just seen today, or else." "Ah, of course, my queen. My lips are sealed." She nodded and continued on her way, her face hiddenly skeptical as she knew, like everyone else, that the tortoise was a notorious busybody. The tortoise was not convinced or terrified by the young and beautiful queen's bravado. He knew there was something she was hiding and it could be a huge opportunity for him as well. He knew what to do. From the next day, the tortoise began to watch the queen. He trailed her everywhere without her knowledge, to the market, to the stream, everywhere. The unsuspecting queen carried out her daily chores in her usual manner. It looked like he had missed his mark this time, until one day she covered herself in disguise and started walking briskly towards the forest. Tortoise, with his heart beating really hard against his chest, continued his trailing. She walked briskly, unnoticed amongst the market women. There were plenty people around to buy and sell. No one noticed a figure float past them, except the tortoise who was hot on her chase. As soon as she arrived at the same spot where she met the tortoise the other day, she raised a boulder and from underneath brought out the beautiful deerskin tortoise saw before. Without wasting time, she put on the deerskin and to tortoise's greatest surprise changed into a magnificent deer. The deer looked around a bit and ran straight into the forest. Tortoise couldn't believe his luck. He nearly jumped out of his shell from excitement. This was really huge. He waited patiently for the deer to return. This took more than 6 hours, but Tortoise didn't mind. When she returned, she changed back into her human form, replaced the skin under the boulder, when suddenly, just like lightning, Tortoise came out of his hiding place, ran to the boulder and yanked the deer skin out. The queen was horrified. Her secret was finally out and revealed to the worst busybody in the whole kingdom. Tortoise laughed and laughed. He couldn't believe his luck. The queen immediately fell on her knees and began to beg. Please give me back that skin. It's too precious and important to me. Please." Tortoise replied, "Oh, don't worry, your highness. Your secret is safe with me, as long as the price is right." "I'll give you anything you want," the queen replied. "I will make you very rich. I will make you very comfortable. Please just give it to me." "Anything, just give me my skin." Tortoise chuckled. "I will not give you this skin until you fulfill your promises." "I will not give it to you." That being said, Tortoise happily ran back to his house with the skin, and from that moment the queen became his prisoner, not by chains but by fear. Weeks went by. Tortoise grew fat. He grew proud. He strutted around the village as if he owned half of Udeme. People whispered, "Where is this tortoise getting all this wealth?" But Tortoise only smiled. while the queen continued to live in fear. Queen Nkem brought him food, money, clothes, and gifts, all to keep him silent. Each time she sent these gifts, she would give her servant a calabash so Tortoise could place her skin back into the calabash and return it to her. But every time the servant brought it back empty. After so many weeks of giving Tortoise plenty gifts and so much money, the queen's patience began to wear out. Meanwhile, inside the palace, trouble was brewing. The king's other wives had begun to start suspecting Queen Nkem. She disappeared for long hours, and recently she'd become very good friends with the tortoise. They'd overheard her so many times giving servants orders to give gifts and money to the tortoise. She never went out with guards, and whenever she came back, she always smelled of fresh grass and dew. The first wife whispered, "I do not trust her." The second wife said, "She's definitely hiding something. We will catch her one day." So they began to follow her too and began to loudly question her movements and activities, especially with regards to the tortoise. No matter how hard Queen Nkem tried to explain or defend herself, their suspicions only grew deeper, and Queen Nkem grew more afraid. One day, Tortoise approached her boldly in the palace ground. "These gifts you bring me, they are no longer enough. I want more. See, I want 20 servants, 2 new huts, and 3 already cultivated farmlands. If you don't give me what I want, I will tell the king everything." The queen's heart broke. "Tortoise, please have mercy. I cannot afford to give you all this. Only the king can. And if I ask him, he will ask why. And if he does, everything will be ruined. Please don't do this." But Tortoise only laughed and left her presence. Indeed, there was no limit to the stomach of the greedy tortoise. That night, an overwhelmed Queen Nkem fled into the forest. She knelt by the river and cried bitterly. Her tears fell into the water like rain. Suddenly, the wind rose, the trees shook, and a glowing forest spirit appeared from the river. "Child of the forest, why do you weep?" the spirit asked. The queen sobbed. "A tortoise holds my life in his hands. If the king finds out what I truly am, I will lose everything, and I love the king so much." The spirit stepped closer. "My dear, the truth is like the sun. You can stay away from its shadow, but not forever. Do the needful. Speak the truth, especially on your own terms." The queen wiped her eyes and slowly nodded. She knew what she had to do. 5 days later, when the tortoise came to confront her on why she was yet to fulfill his demands, he began to rant and shout and bicker and threaten the queen. Queen Nkem stood quietly, calm and poised. When Tortoise noticed his antics weren't having any effect whatsoever on the queen, he decided to bring out the big gun and brought out the glowing deer skin, threatening to cut it into pieces. This was the exact moment the queen was waiting for. With a very swift motion, she grabbed the skin from his hand and without a word immediately put it on. Light wrapped around her. Her body shifted and she transformed into the magnificent golden deer. Before Tortoise could run, she let out a very powerful cry that echoed through the entire kingdom. The hunters heard it. All the villagers heard it. Even the king heard it. The queen, or deer, then ran straight to the palace. Everyone that heard the strange noise ran straight to the palace to know what was going on. They were all very surprised to see a magnificent, beautiful deer standing in front of the palace. The king wondered which hunter caught this deer as a gift to him. To everyone's surprise, there in front of everyone, the queen removed the deer skin and became human again. People screamed. The king's other wives gasped. We knew it. We said it. She's a spirit. We knew it." Tortoise tried to run, but he was captured by the king's guards. Immediately he got to the palace. The crowd pointed at him too. "He has been meeting us secretly. They have been having 1 or 2 things together." The queen had revealed herself on her own terms, but she also exposed Tortoise's antics. This was her revenge. The king summoned them both. His voice thundered. Tortoise, Queen came. Explain yourselves now. Tortoise tried to lie. Then the queen began to speak softly. She confessed everything, the secrets, the gifts, and the continuous blackmail. The king's face darkened. Tortoise, you wicked creature, you dared to blackmail a queen? He ordered his guards. Flog him, drag him across the village. I hereby banish him forever. The tortoise cried, rolling on his shell, but no one listened. Then the king turned to Queen Nkem. His voice softened. Why, Nkem? Why didn't you tell me? Queen Nkem replied, teary-eyed. My lord, the day you saw me in the forest and asked me to be your wife, I didn't want to refuse because I loved you too much immediately. I tried giving up my animal nature just to be with you forever, but I was told it was impossible. That is why I tried to manage both worlds. I am so sorry, my king. The king sighed. My beautiful queen, you should have told me the truth from the beginning. This is too much embarrassment to me, my throne, and my people. For peace to reign in this kingdom and to avoid further occurrence in the future, you must return to the forest and never return to live amongst humans ever again. With tears in her eyes, Queen Nkem placed the deer skin over her shoulders. She transformed into a deer and walked slowly back into the forest, never to be seen again. From that day on, the elders of Udeme created a new rule. Before a king could marry any woman, or before any man of Udeme could marry any woman, especially if she wasn't from that village, she had to go through long rituals and spiritual tests to make sure she was actually human. Because the shame of marrying a forest spirit must never happen again. You might be wondering, and the tortoise? Well, he wandered the wilderness, he wandered villages, known everywhere as a greedy creature who destroyed himself. No one wanted to associate with him anymore. My friends, always remember, greed will swallow even the cleverest trickster. Secrets can only hide for a while, and the truth, no matter how long it sleeps, it will surely wake up. Thank you so much for listening to this story. What do you think? Do you think the situation could have been handled differently by the king, the queen, or the tortoise? Kindly comment your thoughts below. I'll be looking forward to seeing what you think about the whole situation. Also, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And also, don't forget to hit the notification bell so you are notified immediately as soon as new stories are dropped on the channel. I'll see you in the next story. Until next time, bye.